Yeah, what the? I wonder how to remove footprints. Ah, what have they done? What has happened in the world of Pokemon? Oh man, today it is August 2nd. 3 days ago, July 31st, the new update from Niantic hit Pokemon Go users, and it has been a doozy. There were some, I guess you could say, modest graphical improvements for sure. The Pokeballs look sweet. There was some outdoor environment changes when you're catching those Pokemon and you're not using the real world maps. But for the majority of trainers out there, this patch has been absolutely disastrous. Major core gameplay elements have been taken out, specifically tracking, finding Pokemon. This just got a lot harder and a lot more random. So, ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to be covering everything that this patch has for you. How will it affect your training life? How can you take full advantage of it? Are you one of those angry trainers? If so, let me try to help you. Let me help you later. We're going to talk specifically about Niantic's approach, what happened, how Niantic has responded, and how the general populace has responded. Ladies and gentlemen, there are millions and millions of trainers that are walking around trying to find Pokemon blind now. What does that mean for this world and this game? And this game world, what does it mean?
Hey, Wolf, which team should I join?
Oh, Team Rocket.
Rocket? What about Team Instinct?
Team Instinct. More like Team Extinct. Team Instinct. More like Team I'm Stink.
What about Team Valor?
Valor. More like Val Snore. Valor. More like Val or Not. Valor. More like Team Val Whore.
Okay. So what about Team Mystic?
Team Mystic. More like Team Mistake. Team Mystic. More like Team Miss Dick. He's got a little waggler up there. Team Miss Dick. So we got 3 major changes. 1 is listed, but it's a heartbreaker. 2 are not listed and equally heartbreaking. The 4th we can call a bonus. First, footprints are gone. Tracking is no longer easy. In fact, it's not even possible anymore. Number 2, all the throw bonuses have been removed. This means nice, excellent, your little curveball you've been practicing for a couple weeks. That thing is useless now. No more XP bonuses from those. Number 3, battery saver mode is gone. And number 4, the third-party sites that you've been using to find your Pokemon have all been taken down, except for one, which I will include later. They created a very clever idea and a good game that a lot of people have really been enjoying. Shedding some pounds, getting out there, having some competition, meeting some people. There's a lot of great things that Niantic brought to the world with Pokemon Go. However, they are making a ton of money with this game. And these major 3 that I talked about that were removed, I can't see a real reason to do that, except maybe they can cut down on cost. Maybe they can make the servers a little more stable as they're rolling it out. So, July 31st came, and with it came a Niantic patch for Pokemon Go that has been tearing the world asunder. There is no way to track your Pokemon anymore, and Niantic is backpedaling. So I've done a little research. Hopefully I can break this down in a very short amount of time for you so you are caught up and you are ready to go out there and do what you want to do and what you have to do to be the very best. So there's an angry community. There's a lot of refunds being requested. I think that's a pretty telling sign that the game has turned the corner, at least for these users. Like most game companies, Niantic posts on its social media when there's an update to sort of give us all the specifics and let us know what exactly has been changed behind the scenes. As you can see right here, here's the official list on Pokemon Go's Facebook page. This is their official release from July 31st, 7:05 a.m. by my Facebook clock. You possibly have a different time, depending on where you are. There's a lot of things here that seem kind of minor. We can now reclothe our avatars, some small gym animations have been changed, battle move values, improved memory issues. I wonder how to remove footprints! How are we gonna find the Pokemon? Ladies and gentlemen, there is a doozy right in the there is a grenade in the middle of those eggs, isn't there? We'll go through all the major changes today, including 2 of what I believe the only 3 major changes in this patch that are not listed. I'll say that again, 2 of the 3 major changes in this patch are not listed in this post. I'll explain very clearly what those other changes are. It's always like that, right? You get 5 little positive things. Here's 5 little pieces of candy. Now give me your goddamn liver! Let's go through the rest of this list and see what sort of real information we can draw from this. Modified battle damage calculation. This is based mostly around a DPS change to certain Pokemon, like the Vaporeon. Because the water gun basic attack was a little too fast and a little too powerful, so that power has been dropped from 10 to 6, etc. So there's a lot of little changes like this to kind of equal out some of the Pokemon, and some of the rare Pokemon with special moves have seen those moves empowered. DPS is your bottom line, though. You want to consider how much are you doing every second and how much are you taking every second. These bug fixes, as far as I'm aware, are meant to stabilize catches, decrease chances that you're going to have server issues, possibly lose the Pokemon. Updates to the Pokemon details screen. What I believe this means is that they've moved the trade button when you want to trade in your Pokemon and get some candy. I could also call it the sacrifice button or the sell button. I guess we might as well be clear about it. They moved the sell button, so you have to click a couple more times to get there. I don't mind that, but I've heard some griping if you've got 50 different Pidgeys that you want to sell. It can be a little troublesome to add another feature when many people are wanting a group sell button. You're going to have to wait for that. The achievement medal images, they've been updated. Hey, that's something. Fixed issues with displaying certain map features. I believe this is specifically talking about paths becoming more obvious on the maps and other things like that that are in real life and are on Google Maps and other mapping software but did not come with the game. Minor text fixes, who knows what that means. Maybe they caught some typos. So let's talk about the removal of this footprint system. Come on. The footprint system was having problems. That's because, as far as I know, Niantic wanted to stabilize their servers as they're rolling out further across the world. What does it mean for you? Well, basically it means a lot. Not only can you no longer use footprints to see how far or how close a certain Pokemon is, it also seems that the tracking system from top left to bottom right showing how far certain Pokemon are does not work anymore at all. I've also seen Pokemon not included in the top 9 list spawning right on top of trainers in lots of videos and posts. You know, it kind of reminds me of old school Pokemon, right? You never know what's going to be in that grass until you walk around it until it pops up on you. So needless to say, there was obviously some public outcry about this from people playing Pokemon Go and from other countries where it's promised to be released very shortly. The outcry, as far as I know, has been pretty intense. My biggest exposure to it has been on Reddit, where I browse pretty much daily, and it's there that I started to realize just how many users who spent money on the game are pretty ticked off right now and looking for refunds. I think this is a pretty good tell to learn overall how is the community accepting the game right now, how are the patches going down, and how do they feel in general. So while I was doing some research on Reddit to try to figure out more about this, and I will put in the description a link to this thread that I was using to learn from, and maybe you can go learn some stuff too and bounce around to different subthreads from there. After one Redditor's request for a refund was denied, he received this response from a Google support supervisor. Apparently this is his words. I don't know how true this is, but it sounds pretty true. Here's the quote. "We have a plan in place and will be evaluating the refunds. Once this is done, we will seek out Niantic to cover damages caused by their negligence." I just like this because it seems like there might be a little bit of a scrum building up here. There's a lot of other posts that seem to be pointing to the fact that Google support has been hit pretty hard by this. If you go to this thread and keep reading, I won't keep this video going too long. But if you go to this thread and keep reading, you will find that there's a lot of posts where people are receiving very, very, very different responses from Google. Because this is a massive issue, and it's been slowing down Google support worldwide because a lot of people are contacting Google to get this sorted out, these issues. So if this update has vexed you or hurt your ability to play Pokemon, or perhaps you've made a recent investment in the game and you want to take that back, it does seem like refunds are very possible. A lot of people on Reddit are getting their full money refunded as long as it's recent. It can take a while, and you usually are going to get the first wall from Google as far as I can tell, and you got to go over that. You got to ask, you got to explain your situation specifically, and then in most cases, as I've seen on Reddit, it seems like people are eventually getting helped by Google. So there's still good guys out there. I do want to request, though, that you do this carefully and with an honest heart. These are not Niantic refunds. So in some cases, even after the money refund is made, the items that were bought still remain. So eventually this could lead to Niantic issues, as some accounts will have more money returned, thus no money really spent on the game, but you still have the items bought. This could lead to a bunch of issues. I don't know yet. Nobody knows yet. There haven't been any bannings or anything because of this. But there have been some confirmed cases of people getting their full refund and keeping the items. I've seen a couple people on Reddit have contacted Niantic about this and asked them to take the items because they wanted to be honest. Good on you. As far as I know, Niantic has not responded to any of those requests. Okay, let's go to the second major change that happened on July 31st. And this one was not documented in the list. I don't know why. I'm not saying it was for nefarious reasons, but I mean, come on, this is kind of an important thing. Battery saver mode, if you used it or not, has been completely removed. It's gone. It is officially gone. There's no other way to check it. Go to your settings. It's completely gone. I don't know how many users were using battery saver mode, but as far as I know, nobody had a problem with it. Okay, number 3 of these heartbreaking changes. Personally, the most heartbreaking to me, I like to think of Pokemon Go, at least the catching part, is a game of skill, and you should be rewarded for that skill. You should be rewarded for practicing your thumb actions, working out, getting some thumb abs in there. However, another change not included in the official list is the complete removal of Curveball, Nice, Great, and Excellent ball bonuses. Those are completely gone. So hitting your perfect shot, nailing that excellent, getting that extra 100 XP, it's gone. Every catch is worth the same now. Every ball is worth the same. Why, Niantic? I don't understand why. Perhaps server issues. Perhaps this will be returned. Again, this was not listed. I don't want to say that Niantic has completely dropped the ball on its customers because we don't know if these things will be returned to the game. But it's been a couple days already now, and they're finally admitting that these changes happened. And as far as I can tell, backpedaling. The original post on the Facebook page, as you can see, and other pages which I've checked out too, doesn't detail these removals in any great amount of content. So a lot of guesswork is left to us. And in fact, these two, the second and third change that I mentioned, are not even included anywhere as far as official announcements go. So as I can tell from here, it seems like the fire of public opinion seems to be making Niantic do a little bit of backpedaling. They haven't apologized. They haven't said that they made a mistake. But they have admitted the changes, and they have admitted that they realize the amount of anger out there and the crazy response to these changes. And as far as I can tell, as a direct result of this response, they posted on their Facebook page. Let's take a read. And I quote, "Trainers, as many of you know, we recently made some changes to Pokemon Go. We have removed the 3-step display in order to improve upon the underlying design." Again, this post came out 6 hours ago. So the original patch was 3 days ago and more. And then finally came a little bit of understanding about this. We have removed the 3-step display in order to improve upon the underlying design. So they told us they removed it. Here we go. Maybe they'll tell us why. Tell us why. What's your explanation? The original feature, okay, although enjoyed by many, yes, that's true, was also confusing and did not meet our underlying product goals. I wonder what that means. What are their underlying product goals? We will keep you posted as we strive to improve this feature. It seems like underlying product goals are not the enjoyment of the mini. Perhaps there's another reason why they removed this. It seems to me like server stability would be the major reason. Cost, perhaps? I don't know why else. Second paragraph here, and I believe this could be a bonus, maybe a number 4 for the big issues that were not listed. We have limited access by third-party services, which were interfering with our ability to maintain quality of service for our users and to bring Pokemon Go to users around the world. What does this mean? This means the sites that you were using to find Pokemon have been taken down. So all those third-party Poke-finding sites like Pokevision are dead. They have been killed. Although Pokefind.co, as you can see right here, at the time of this video recording, is still working, and it's up. I believe that's just because it's just normal people uploading these locations, but we'll see if this site stays up. I hope it does. So let's talk about rumors. And there's a rumor floating around that the reason why the footstep system was removed is because that's how a lot of these third-party Poke tracker sites are functioning, which for some reason I can think of a couple of business reasons why Niantic isn't a big fan of these companies and these services. By taking out this service, they seem to have completely crippled them. When you combine that with their legal actions recently to just knock down all these websites, it seems to be pretty effective. This is a rumor, I don't know. I've also seen it mentioned pretty popularly recently that there might have been a hidden difficulty spike in catching Pokemon. I can think of maybe some reasons why they would do that. The fact that we already have these level 30 trainers out there, the fact that there's a whole new world that needs to start catching these, and perhaps the harder it gets to catch Pokemon, the more important paid for items are, right? I don't know. This is a total guess based on rumors. So to cap things off on an honest and a more serious note, I feel like Niantic has a great opportunity and a great challenge ahead of them here. This game came out and exploded across the world and created an entire community where before there wasn't. It was not okay to run around and yell Pikachu and make friends. Now you'll see groups of 10, 15 people in the park, or very recently you would see groups of 10 or 15 kids in the park running around talking about the Pikachu they caught, asking each other what they could do, working together on gyms. This is very cool. And Niantic made this happen with the winning formula. However, it seems like company politics seem to be taking over, and the creativity and the positivity that this game could instill in the world may be taking a back seat to business matters. I hope this is not the case. I really hope so. I'm thinking about an underrepresented part of the population, specifically those that maybe don't get too social or don't get too active. Just being in a group of people playing the same type of game, having this as an option for people around the world, I think it's a positive thing for mankind in general, to turn games into something more realistic, more social, and more physical. However, taking down these third-party sites, but I did actually see a number of responses on Facebook from people that are disabled or have a hard time actually getting around and just randomly walking around. They said that the tracking and these third-party websites made it a completely different game. They could go and find places, maybe Charmander nests, where they could find maybe their favorite Pokemon. They could find some rarer Pokemon. They could feel like they're really accomplishing something without getting out there on the street like normal people, because they can't get out there and walk around and take those long circuitous routes just waiting for things to pop up for them. Obviously, this is a minority of the population, but I think it speaks to the greater number of people that don't rely on Pokemon Go, but have found some new freedom, some new excitement in life because of it. And I really hope percentages and the bottom line for a company that found itself thrust into massive stardom and success with very little experience behind it compared to other major game companies that never see success like this. I really hope that this limelight doesn't blind them. Let me know what you guys find out. Let me know as this goes forward. And I can't wait to see you guys out there. Let's catch them all. So after all that negativity and worry being shared, I still have to say that I totally support this game. Enjoy this game. And there's some legitimate reasoning, perhaps. Pokemon Go is kind of a game about hunting Pokemon, and if you can easily find where the rarest ones are, It'll just be swarms to get there, and who can ever get to those positions will have the rarest, and that's sort of it. So getting out there on your own, running around with complete random chance of having one pop up on you, that's kind of cool, right? That kind of throws back to the original Pokemon days. I remember before Mount Moon, I circled that grass chunk like 4 or 5 down because someone told me you could find like rare Pokemon. How many hours did I spend doing that? My complete ignorance was one of the funnest parts. So they can add some mystery possibly to the game here. So I don't want to slam on them too hard before we know what Pokemon Go will be in the future. Do you guys think we're improving now, or we're on a downward spiral? Let me know in the comments. Let's chat. So with that, we've covered the patch. We don't know exactly what's going to happen in the future, but I hope and pray Niantic will look at their success and not make questionable steps to reduce the quality of the game that the world loves. I really, really hope this is true. If you guys like this video, I appreciate it so much. If you watched it till the end, thank you, my brothers. Please drop down, show that like button some love so more people can see this video. If you like me and you like this stuff, please subscribe, join the family. I hope you guys have an amazing night. Drop down in the comments, let's talk about it. Did you find something else out that I haven't mentioned here? What happens next? As this thing evolves and develops, I'll make more videos. We can chat more about it in the comments. Love you guys. Go catch them all.
Hey, Carnival, what's
Time for truth. Time for truth.
Make a devil! Oh yeah, do
Protect the world. Unite all peoples within our nation. To denounce the evils of truth. To extend our reach to the stars of the